Can you tell me, are there any more bizarre character names that you can think of? Strange ideas you have that were just little cameos or anything that are dear to your heart?
You mean that have appeared?
Yeah.
Appeared. I guess when I do the Mr. Mind picture, that was that, because he's a worm.
He's a worm.
Yeah. And he looked perfect. Of course, it's easy to draw that worm. He's a silly-looking worm.
And what issue is he, and how could we find him?
Oh, he's in a comic that was called Not Brand Eck. It was kind of a takeoff on... It was a takeoff on the Marvel and other characters, a silly comic book. It would just take serious stories. And so we had a character called Captain Marvel, our own Captain Marvel. I called him Captain Marvin in this story. And on every page I would put something from the old Captain Marvel book, you know, that great character from the 40s and 50s. And on one there would be Mr. Mind, and another would be Billy Batson, and another would be the Seven Deadly Sins. Just little in-jokes. You know, and so forth that the younger readership didn't even understand. So I like to do things like that. I like to put things into the comics. One of my idols in that respect is Woody Allen, because he would always say, you know, he doesn't think it's important that everybody recognize every reference in every script. That if you have the executives, they'll say, well, there'll be somebody in Idaho who won't understand this, so take it out. You know. Yeah. I always say there are references in Annie Hall I've been trying to figure out since 1977. So, you know, and I figure there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't let it get in the way of the story. Yes. You know, but put in extra stuff for the people that can enjoy the texture. Yeah,
because people get really excited when it comes together and they.
Yeah. I remember how thrilled I was not too long before I started writing the X-Men, but I was working on staff, and Stan Lee was doing one of his last X-Men with Jack Kirby. And right in the middle of a hospital scene, there's this big lettering coming out from a loudspeaker over in the hospital, or an intercom in the hospital. It says, "Dr. Thomas, come to this." And I was so thrilled. My name in a comic book. I'd never see that again.
That's so funny. That's so great.
But, you know, it was just a thrill to see that happening, because it was just an in-joke. But it worked, because anybody who didn't know that I was writing comics or working there, it was just a doctor. So that's the kind of thing.
I love stuff like that. How long have you been coming to Comic-Con?
I came to the third one. Was the first one, 1972, when it was maybe 1,000 people. The first year it was held in the El Cortez Hotel, and then I came in 1974 again, a couple of years later, and was so thrilled because I was sitting between Charlie Schultz, the creator of Peanuts, and my real idol, Milt Caniff, creator of Terry and the Pirates, and Steve Canyon. And then in 76 I moved to LA, so I came to every one for 15, 20 years.
That's great.
Now I only come when they pay my way, you know.
Well, as they should.
Well,
come on.
Will you tell them that?
As you should, wherever you are.
Every couple of years, every few years now, they've been doing it now. I was here a couple of years ago because it was the 50th anniversary of the fanzines and so forth. And this year I think I'm here because it's the 50th anniversary of like the Avengers and the X-Men, and I became sort of the second writer of both those characters.